Hello everyone, Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Oahu. I'm on the North Shore. It is April 25th, 2015, 8:50 in the morning. We're talking about the right way to do ride-alongs. And one of the best things that you could do is pay attention to the way that people talk, but you can also pay attention to the way that they're telling stories, right? So out here in Hawaii, when you're having a conversation with somebody and it's a long story, they call it talk story. Now, there's a couple of things to look for. You can say first, is the story engaging? Does it like relate to what's going on and is it engaging? So there's two things. The second thing is it to the point? Is it to the point? Because a lot of times people will tell stories and they're horrible. They just drag on forever, okay? And then the fourth thing is, does it somehow relate to what's going on? Is it involved somehow with the conversation? Because a lot of times when salespeople are struggling, they'll start telling stories so that they don't have to go through the sales process, so they don't have to face rejection. And then what happens is they face rejection. And these stories become meaningless and it creates a lot of challenges. So watching how they interact and watching how they tell the stories and watching what stories that they tell. And then, you know, if you're sitting there, you get a chance to watch, you should watch how that buyer is engaged. Now, a lot of times the stories are about personal life. A lot of times the stories are about the sales process or somebody getting the product or the service or the good, the widget, the gizmo. But watching and listening how the stories are. Now, listening how the person gets excited, the tempo of their speech, if they have the right timing, because timing could be off in a story, just like timing could be off in a joke. Then you've seen this before. You're talking to somebody and they tell a joke and they tell the punchline too quick. So watching the timing can help out and you can understand what can be done right in a story and what could be done wrong. So stories are a huge thing. And then, you know, if you got questions about why they told a story, you could ask the person at the end of the call when you're not with the client, hey, you know, it was an interesting story. Why did you tell that? And so sometimes people have no idea why they told a story, right? And if that's happening in a sales call, that can create danger. Now, there are a lot of people out there who are really good at what they do, and there's a reason why they tell a story. And so I'm gonna share a story with you about telling stories in a sales call. I was with a guy, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, and I was helping him out, and I was running the sales call, and we're sitting at the table, and we're talking back and forth, and we're going back and forth, and I ran the sales call and I'm filling out paperwork and the guy's buying some stuff from me, and you know, the guy who's riding with me is getting paid. The client is gonna buy something and he's getting paid from what I'm selling. And so the guy goes off topic, like just totally goes bonkers, bonanza. So over here is normal. This dude full out goes crazy town, crazy town. So he goes, yeah, you know, what kind of dog does your son have? And the guy goes, oh, well, he's got like a Staffordshire Terrier, which is like code for a pit bull, right? And so the guy goes, oh yeah, my friend had a pit bull. Now, that would have been cool, that would have been all good, but nope, we got to go to crazy town. So then he goes, yeah, you know, I was over at my friend's house and the guy's pit bull bit me. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm sitting there, I had all the emotions built up and all the stories were good and everything was going on and everything was going right. And every time that this guy talked, you could feel, even you watching would feel the level of the tension in this room start going up and the sale like diminishing. And so 3 minutes later, sales no longer made. Stupid head, as what I'm going to call this sales guy who went to crazy town, decided to say how the dog bit him and they had to have the dog put down. It was just like the most crazy thing. So we get out to the vehicle and I'm talking to him, and this is like the level of non-knowledge this guy has. I'm like, do you know what you just did? And he's, no, what did I do? Say, do you know what story you told? And he goes, yeah, I told him about the dog, the time the dog bit me. I'm like, look, we get into the end of a sales call and all the emotions are good and everything's perfect, and then you tell a story about something going bad and horribly wrong, not just wrong, but horribly wrong. That's not a good thing to do. So watching and paying attention to a story can really help you out. Now, watch the stories, make sure they're good, see what the person's talking about, see if it can help you out. If you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there is a subscribe button. Subscribe. And then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Oahu. Only Scott Bell. Someone else, see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.